Okay, so this is a writing assignment right here. So this one is going to examine the civil rights after September 11th. So this is a very unique one. This is what we call a pinpoint history reflection. As with the civil rights movement in general in the mid-1900s, that was going on from the end of the Civil War clear 100 years later into the 1960s. This specific assignment is going to focus on a very specific 10-year period after September 11th. Once September 11th hit, there's a solid 10 years where there is global resentment towards a group of people who kind of were off on the side this whole time, especially the United States. The United States has racial tensions in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s when it comes to the black versus white community, the black versus Asian community, and then all three fighting with each other. So the Arab community always has had racial tensions, but their fight or struggle has always kind of been on the fringes of the conversation. But when September 11th hit, man, that was intense, because you just had to look Arab and you were getting swooped up into the chaos of it. So that's kind of what we're talking about right here. So for this one, you're kind of, you're looking into that situation. I've highlighted these two right here because these are like the main ones that talk about that situation the most. So you're going to start here. I was able to find a handful of other ones that kind of, talk around the topic a little bit, so you can go there. So you are going to explore this one, and I've given you some areas to kind of help guide you. Of course, remember, you're never limited to what these prompts are, but they're here to kind of spark what you're talking about. I see I have this written twice. Here's 2 to 3, here's 3 to 4. Whatever, keep writing. I'll fix that so it's uniform. But basically, you're writing like a page. Give yourself these writing assignments. You're giving yourself like a page to talk to us. You're educating us on what you found. From your perspective, and I think that's important because it's so easy for us to go grab a Wikipedia entry or like a commentary or like an AI prompt. We don't care about that. Like, I just cannot stress how much I do not care about that. I care about your perspective. Like, they're like, hey, you want to be a college teacher? Yeah, because how cool would it be to learn the perspective of so many people at one time? Could you imagine how much of the human experience I'm going to learn being around these students? And then that's what I'm here for. And I hope that's what you eventually grow to appreciate in yourself, is there's so much information that you could offer that AI or Wikipedia can't. So don't cheapen it. Don't cheapen yourself. So watch the material, and then stepping back into September 12th, the day after, reflect upon how the Arab community was viewed through the lens of everybody else. And this one right here, I think it's like a 40-minute podcast. He talks about what it is like being an actor during that time. He talks about how, as an actor, he only got roles as the terrorist. And one time he was just so hungry that he was like, screw it, I'll just be a terrorist. I just need money. So he showed up to the audition with his bathroom towel on his head and started talking gibberish, but as long as it sounded Arab, he got the job. And he's just like, what have I done to my community? I'm starving because I need to work. So he talks about how that was one of his first jobs, and that was in the 80s. He said that was in the 80s before September 11th even hit. Because we were going back and forth since 1979. That's the peak. Clear as you start nosediving into this, you will see that the Arab tensions globally is probably about the fall of the Turkish Empire forward, which is like the 1950s, 60s forward. It'll peak with September 11th, and then we'll go to war in Afghanistan, war on terrorism, and it just escalates the tensions. So that's what you're doing. You're kind of just reviewing what it was like for the Arab community after September 11th and teaching it back to us to help us reflect on their situation and what their civil rights movements look like. So, all right, let me know if you guys need any help.